What's good, everyone? Go, 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 go. Join in. Join in, join in, join in, join in. How's everyone doing? What's up? Hello, hello. How y'all doing? Today, I'm your host, Parker. Get a job. Okay, all right, let's get people up here. We're sauced today, chat. We're sauced. Just letting everyone know. So it's gonna be an interesting live today. Incredibly interesting live. Something like you've never seen. I promise you, you've never seen something like this before. Okay, okay. We're gonna start getting some people up here. Only send a guest request if you did vote Trump. We are just looking for some debates, everyone. Let's start getting some people up here right now. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
20.
Did you vote Trump?
Yes,
Why?
because I feel like he will be better for the economy.
Okay. Name one economic policy of Donald Trump's that you like.
Oh, sorry, was I not supposed to have that on? My fault.
Oh, Dean just turned it off. You can have it on. Just Dino's making fun of you.
It's okay. I mean,
Wait, I wasn't making. Wait, did you say I was making fun of him?
Yeah.
I didn't say that.
Oh, sorry. I get uncomfortable when people's cameras are on. You know.
Really, dude? Nah, it's fine. He can have his camera on. It's not like he's doing anything bad. You know?
I didn't know if I was supposed to have it on.
Okay,
or not.
so like, can you name economic policy you like of Donald Trump's?
I feel like the economy was better. The gas prices were down.
Oh, okay. So egg prices are right now under Trump. Do you blame Trump for that?
The egg. Wait, what? What'd you say?
Yeah, egg prices just went up under Donald Trump's presidency. Do you blame him?
No.
Why not, dude? What? Dude, you just said that you. What are you talking about?
Do you think Donald Trump did that in a matter of like 5 days?
Oh, so just
Fucking
because
obviously.
wait to clarify, just because they're president doesn't mean you blame them? You have to like identify how they caused it?
Because so gas prices were up when Biden was president over 4 years, and it never went down.
Wait, but how did he cause it? How did he cause it?
But he didn't stop it either.
How did he cause it?
Okay, maybe he didn't cause it, but did he stop it? No.
Did Trump stop it?
I want to ask Mr. Intellectual, doctoral, academic here a question. Tell me how the president of the United States of America can stop high gas prices.
I'm not quite sure, actually.
So, see what I mean, man? See what I mean, man? Like, see what I fuck, like, dude. And then, like, when you tell
from here,
when you tell, like, when you say, like, oh, like, this president has to stop it, are you like telling them to like regulate and control the market?
Yeah, well, they have... So Dean, hold on, Dean. Are you saying that they have no control over any of that?
They have a slight influence. The slight influence would be the approval of permits for drilling on federal land, so we could bump up the U.S. Production of crude oil in hopes to increase the global supply. And that's what Biden did. We've never produced more oil than we did under him. However, it is the case that we had a decline in the global supply of oil for a handful of reasons. And that's why we had higher gas prices for a while.
So who would you say has control over it?
There's no one person that has control over it. It's typically going to be guided via supply and demand of global, it's going to be guided via like this global supply and then global demand.
Okay, so would you say it's wrong for Democrats to say that it's Trump's problem, or would you say also say it's wrong for Republicans to say it's Biden's fault?
Yeah, like we want to be able to attribute any Trump to Biden for the gas prices, just like we can attribute any, responsibility to Trump for like the price of eggs over the last week.
Well, wouldn't you also say that the economy is also because of us Americans? Wouldn't you say that us Americans contribute to the economy, and if it's bad or good? Like if the economy is doing well or if the economy is doing bad.
Can the consumer base have an impact on the economy? Duh.
Yeah. So why do you just blame Trump for if the economy is doing not well, bad?
What? We haven't. That's what you guys have done for the last 4 years, though. We shit on his policy, though.
Because you guys always say that the economy wasn't good under Trump, and that it was Trump's fault that the economy was doing so
Maybe
bad.
you're referencing when I've talked about the high level of unemployment at the end of his term. That's used as an internal critique to the view that whatever happens in the country is caused by the president. And it's not used to actually propone the idea that he caused that high level of unemployment.
So what do you not like about Trump then? If it's not the economy and it's
No,
not,
it's his economic policy is bad, his foreign policy is bad, and his character is bad.
what economic policies of his are bad?
Tariffs.
So you don't think
Chat,
that?
I do not accept the allegations. We are not elevated. I do not accept these allegations. It's not happening right now.
Yeah.
I've never done it. I don't do stuff like that. What are you talking about?
Yeah, fuck.
Stop
Cloud
it
nine,
right
you're on
there.
Cloud 10.
Never done that once. Okay?
Homie over here is on Cloud 10, bro.
Never done that once.
that's
Many more
crazy work.
times.
Yo, go hit a blinky blink for us off cam, real quick.
So Dean, what would you
work,
say is
crazy work.
wrong? Oh, sorry. Was I not
Go
supposed to?
ahead.
What would you say is wrong about tariffs?
Yeah, so they isolate us from other foreign world leaders. B, they reduce our own exports because they start trade wars, and C, they cause inflation in the market at home in America.
Well, couldn't you say that also gives the government more money so that they can put that towards things?
Well, actually, in the long term, it reduces the size of the economy, reducing federal revenues.
But don't we? Oh, sorry. But don't we? Oh, sorry. I didn't know if you were gonna. Don't we thrive off of taxpayers' money? So
That's literally what the federal government is ran.
So when they put tariffs on things and us consumers are paying more money for that, it's going towards the economy so they can better it because they have more money to help the economy.
What the fuck?
Yes, us Americans,
I don't even understand what
our
you're
money
saying.
to help the economy.
Would you support just like placing a wealth cap on everybody to like $5 million, and anything you have over that's taken by the federal government to improve our lifestyles?
No, because if
Oh, but why? It would improve our lifestyles.
no,
Oh, are you saying it would have some
Give us
negative
like-
consequences
give us
on a
$5
lot of
million,
individuals
'cause
that are
that's-
unjust? Oh, kind of like inflation caused by tariffs and isolation from other foreign world leaders?
no, because
I'm sorry, Trevor. Why can I only see the bottom half of your face? What the fuck?
What do you mean? What?
Yeah, I can unironically only see like your neck and the bottom half of your face. It's just like floating. It's like a floating jaw with like a mustache and goatee. I'm sorry. I just had to
Also-
point it out.
I don't like Trevor.
Okay.
Like, it's also just like a crazy perspective to be like, well, fuck everybody like that's living in poverty right now, and the anxiety and stress in which will be onset via the inflation caused by tariffs and how that may legitimately impact the quality of their lives. We need to give the government more money to spend on tax.
Actually,
cuts
you know
for
what, chat?
millionaire and billionaires.
It's the light. It's the big fucking beaming light. Okay.
No, dude. Now we're at the
Yes,
talking
Athena,
about
I am,
bright light
I am.
stages. We're at the talking about bright light stages. Man, he wow. Yeah, dude,
You know what? Watch this. Watch this, Dean. I'm about to show everyone. I know I'm in a state beyond what mankind has ever seen. Okay,
no,
they've
now
never
he's
seen something to
transcending.
this degree. We've transcended all human dimension. Now, Trevor, answer the question. I got you a question right here. Can you name 3 Trump economic policies he influenced to get passed that are good? 3.
I can't think of any. Could you
Okay.
think? What are 3 Biden policies that have impacted America
Yeah,
positive?
the bipartisan infrastructure bill, the Chips and Science Act, the PACT Act, the Inflation Reduction Act.
And what are
How are you
those?
getting sauced up by someone on Cloud 10 right now, man?
And what are those 3? What are those 4 things? What is to me?
Yeah. So like the Chips and Science Act brought back American manufacturing to the United States and increased domestic production. Specifically, the Inflation Reduction Act was the largest investment in renewable energy ever, and it had a $35 cap on insulin for people on Medicare. The infrastructure bill specifically had had funds for getting lead out of drinking pipes for clean drinking water, had funding for high-speed broadband to rural communities that specifically Kamala Harris put in the bill. She had the most tie-breaking votes of any vice president ever, right? That was like that's pretty good. The PACT Act specifically had hundreds of millions of dollars of funding for veterans healthcare. That's great.
Okay, yeah. Okay, sure. Biden has done a few good things. So, but that doesn't mean that Trump hasn't done any good things at all.
Okay, can you name them?
Oh, you guys are saying
What has he done that's? Can you tell me
Wait, wait,
something Trump's done that is good? Because I can name you about 500 things he's done that are bad. Do you want me to start like hold up? Do you want me to like to just like give you some? You know?
Well, Trump actually.
The president of the United States directly called for the ethnic cleansing of Palestinians. He raped a woman. He convinced tens of millions of people the 2020 election was stolen with no evidence, which undermines our democratic processes. He said he would date a 10-year-old girl in 10 years. He bragged about walking into changing rooms to inspect teen girls without their consent, where victims indicated 4 girls as young as 15 were there. He didn't rent to black people in the 1970s. He called for the execution of the Central Park Five when they were exonerated based on DNA evidence. He popularized the birther movement, saying that Barack Obama was the first black president was born in Kenya when there was literally like no evidence indicating that, to undermine him being president of the United States. He denied climate change, saying the climate is going to start cooling and the science just doesn't know it yet. He said windmills are causing whales to die in numbers never seen before. He said that global warming is fine because they will have more oceanfront property. He said Haitian migrants were eating cats and dogs with no evidence at all indicating that. He said if Jesus were the vote counter in California, that he would have won. He brought up nuking hurricanes in order to stop them from happening. He said 150 million people would come into the country in the 4 years if Harris won, which is 15 times the total population of undocumented immigrants in the country in 2022.
So okay, but English.
Martha, thank you for the $5 on PayPal.
But would you agree that the number of illegal, okay, that's the key word, illegal immigrants was down under Trump? Like illegal.
So you're saying the population? Yeah. So the population, it was higher under Trump than what it was under Obama.
Of illegal immigrants coming into the
Yeah.
United States,
Or in the country.
like coming to the country.
There was an increasing share of people from 2016 to 2017 to 2018 to 2019. Yeah, so like, can you explain to me why there was an increasing share of people under Donald Trump's presidency practically every year?
Are you talking about illegal immigrants coming into the country?
Yes.
And where are you getting this information from?
I'm getting it directly from border statistics, right? The Customs and Border Patrol.
So would you say that the wall that Trump was building did absolutely nothing? And how would
3.7% new wall?
a 3.7% new wall?
Yeah, less like 22% of it was specifically refurbished. So
would you say
if
that-
Trump would have been given another 4 years, he wouldn't even have gotten 50% of the wall, assuming the same rate of refurbishment.
Well, he would. Because
Not even talking about new wall that he built. The bipartisan border bill would have built more wall than Trump ever built under his administration. And Donald Trump called for people in Congress to undermine that bill because he didn't want Democrats to look good, because he cared more, right, about running on the border as an issue than actually providing a solution. And
Well,
by the way, happy birthday to Chester. Happy birthday to Chester.
Wouldn't you say that also after Trump's presidency ended and Biden came into office, wouldn't you say that that also contributes to him not being able to finish the wall? Because Biden wasn't going to do that. Biden wasn't going to finish the wall, building the
Finish
wall.
what law? I'm confused what you're saying.
Building the
This is
wall.
dealt with by Congress, and then they sign it into law once Congress passes the bill.
So is it not Trump that wanted the wall built? Is it Congress? that wanted it?
Trump did want the wall built, but he couldn't get people to work together to actually get that done. And when people were actually going to get that done, push the little crown, he called for people in Congress to undermine the bill, which was corroborated by himself. He said, blame it on me if the border bill fails. Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham. It was corroborated by James Langford, who helped to write the bill, who was a co-author, who was a Trump-endorsed Republican.
So it was Trump's fault that the wall didn't.
Yes. It was Trump's fault that the wall didn't get built. Yes, actually.
So then why are you guys
Over a year and a half ago.
So then why did not Republican Democrats get mad about the whole Trump building the wall, wanting to keep?
Well, the only reason it was a part of the bill was as a compromise. So Democrats were willing to give up things that are literally conservative leaning in order to be able to get something that is a solution for the southern border.
Also-
and Republicans weren't willing to engage in compromise only because Daddy Trump said not to.
Also, the one thing I'd like to add on here is like the big issue with the wall isn't like the idea of a border wall in and of itself. It's the way that that idea was presented to the American people. It was presented alongside incredibly bigoted and honestly racist and xenophobic rhetoric. It was also presented as the end-all be-all cure for immigration issues, which empirically is just simply not the case. So that's like the bigger issue with the wall.
So would you say that it would be good if we had some sort of border or he left.
See, this is why I get mad, because you think that a wall is going to solve all of our issues. No,
It could solve
I
some
think
of
that it's
the issues.
no, absolutely not. I think that we need to focus more on our legal processes of migration more than anything else, and fix those, make them more efficient, make them quicker, and that alone will disincentivize undocumented entry into America more so than a wall or anything else.
So what about all the illegal immigrants that come into our country and
Oh,
great?
you can't see it. Give me a second. Give me a second.
What
Give me a
about-
second. Give me a second. Just give me a second. I need to fix something. Oh, you care about migrants scraping people?
No, I'm saying no.
No.
I do. Oh my gosh.
So then why
No
do you
is
care about
crazy.
Trump graping someone?
No, I'm saying you guys don't want a. Oh my gosh. You guys don't want a wall or a border, which will cause.
Dude,
No,
you're being so
I don't give a
disingenuous.
fuck about there being a wall. Like, the only reason
Yeah,
I would ever be okay with there being a wall is if that somehow got you to, like, literally fucking actually pass the policy, which, if the bipartisan border bill would have done that, I would have been willing to give that up as a compromise. But
You're-
it's, like, actually fucking, like, there's no point. What's the fucking point?
So you're fine with all the illegal immigrants coming into the country and graping.
I
people.
think we need a better system of immigration that allows for more people to come to the country through faster means. I think immigration is really important because it helps us pay for things like Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, things that literally Americans rely on. That because undocumented immigrants, documented immigrants that come into the country, both legal and illegal immigrants, they pay more into the system, right? Because they have a higher labor force participation rate on average.
Okay, so what would you say about the?
And also, they commit crimes at lower rates, right? So we're literally increasing the economy and lowering the crime rate. That's literally like, if you actually care about those statistics, you would say that we should have more immigration than we currently have right now.
So what would you say about the immigrants that came to the U.S. illegally that committed multiple crimes? Like,
If you've committed like bad crimes or violent crimes, you should be deported. And if you're an undocumented immigrant, yes.
Well,
I have no issue with saying that. Everyone has no issue with saying that. If someone is committed, like the issue is that someone who has been held civilly liable of sexually abusing a woman, right? If they were an undocumented immigrant, you deport them from the country. But if they were born inside of the country, apparently you vote them for president of the United States. Like that, just like that makes no sense to me, right? Why you would say that they shouldn't be allowed in the country and they should be deported based upon those reasons. But apparently they should be fucking president in the Oval Office if they've done that, if they were born in the country and they were born with like a fucking $400 million inheritance accounting for inflation.
Exactly. So you're saying we should let them into our country, and if they do that, then we should deport them. So are we just going to keep letting a bunch of illegal immigrants come into the country?
No, I don't think that they should be illegal. They should be legal. They
Well,
should be legal.
legal.
I wouldn't consider them illegal. One, two, the main amount of people that are coming to the country are coming through the asylum process. They are legally coming into the country.
Okay, but
You just apparently don't want to consider them legal because apparently it's like politically advantageous for Republicans to do that. Because they're asylum seekers. They're going through a legal process.
At what point are we going to say this is enough is enough? Like, how many people have to get raped by the immigrants?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like, if you actually want to like reduce the likelihood of these types of things happening, then why did you undermine the bipartisan border bill? Why is it so? Wait, are you saying that Trump caused this to happen to a greater degree because he undermined the bipartisan border bill?
What do you mean by he undermined the bipartisan?
He
called
called
for people
Republicans in Congress
Wait, what? Sorry.
and told them to specifically vote against the bill for no other reason than that he didn't want the Democrats to solve the issue.
But he's the one that started the wall. He's the one that wanted the wall up.
Yeah, but he
So
wanted
can I-
to be the one to do it. He doesn't want Democrats to get the win.
Democrats didn't want the win. They didn't want.
Bro,
They
dude,
did
so
want to pass
Biden
the
and
bill.
Harris,
Democrats
Biden
didn't
and
want
Harris,
the wall.
Biden and Harris worked with Congress to draft a bipartisan border bill that would have significantly reduced the impacts of the crisis. They had bipartisan support behind the project, and it would have passed. But Trump didn't want the Democrats to take a win, so he called the Republicans and told them to vote against it.
So you're saying that Biden and Kamala wanted to keep the border wall up?
Bro, I don't. What? Okay, Trevor, why do you keep on going back to the goddamn wall? The
Because-
wall is so trivial, unimportant, and meaningless. What the fuck? Like, dude, Trevor, I want you to name one passive legislation passed through Congress ever.
I can't think of one.
Exactly. You don't know shit about politics. You're not educated at all. And the reason I knew this for a certain fact, enough conviction in this belief for me to even ask you that question, is because about this fucking wall. Donald Trump promotes anti-intellectualism and belief without solid foundation or reason to millions of Americans. He has somehow convinced people that a fucking wall is the end-all be-all fix and cure for like immigration through our southern border. It's so ridiculous to me. It's so much more than that. A wall is not a long-term solution. It's a short-term solution. You build a 30-foot wall, individuals are going to make a 31-foot ladder. Same thing with immigration officers, honestly. When you just put people on the border to prevent individuals coming in, well, all of a sudden you're going to have to get that passed through appropriations every fiscal year, and you're going to have to continue to get funding and support for that, but that doesn't create any long-term fix. It just keeps people out for the immediate future. Not to mention, the real issue is illegal systems of migration into our country that need to be reformed. We need to expedite asylum claims. We need to expedite systems to allow asylum seekers to work in America. We need to offer undocumented migrants in America that are working a job more labor protections. And we need to expedite the legal systems of migration, so as long as you pass a basic background check and you know the fundamentals, you can become an American citizen to further grow the American economy. And then all of this shit about violent crime, Trevor, are you a natural-born U.S. citizen?
Yes.
You're 2 times more likely to commit a violent crime compared to an undocumented migrant. So it's like, I just don't get the stigmatization at fucking all. It's ridiculous. And it's even more ridiculous when you contrast it with the fact that you voted for a guy that raped a woman A and released 1,500 individuals that raided the Capitol on January 6th, some of whom literally violently assaulted not just civilians, but police, law enforcement, and you don't care at all. So then you decide you want to take it out on undocumented migrants that only came in through undocumented, routes because the legal system took too long. And the reason they came in was to make a living to provide for themselves and their loved ones. It's ridiculous. It's unreal.
Okay, you're over here saying it like I want no immigrants to come into the country at all, and that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying that we need to manage it and what's the word called?
Well, that's not what Trump's doing.
We need to control who comes into our country.
That's not what Trump is doing.
Or
Trump is actually bad for immigration. Can you name one effective piece of legislation he passed on the southern border during his first 4 years?
I can't think of one.
Me neither.
Okay, so then why do you keep saying that it's Trump's fault? It's not Trump's fault then. You say that, it's Trump's fault that the illegal immigrants come into this country. But it's not Trump's fault then. And you're like,
I asked you to name a piece of effective policy that passed under.
So then how do you know it's Trump's fault?
Because he didn't have any. He didn't have any effective border policy during his first 4 years.
So then who built the border? Was it not Trump then?
He built less than 50 miles using misappropriated DoD funds, and it had virtually no impact on immigration numbers. In fact, they went up year by year by year until COVID hit. That's why the wall was ineffective. More about the wall. The wall, wall this, wall that, wall. You're driving me up a goddamn wall, Trevor.
When Trump's the one that made the wall. But then Biden...
Dude, what did I just say? What did I just say about the wall? No. Repeat the last thing I said about the wall, or I'm going to kick you. I'm going to kick you unless you could repeat the last thing I said about the goddamn wall.
All I heard was wall. That's what you said.
Okay, here let's get elevated Parker to dunk on Trevor even more. We'll just have some fun here. Trevor, I have a question here for you, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Would you vote for someone who would you vote for someone who released violent criminals into the country?
Oh, you're gonna say Trump released violent criminals into the country, aren't you?
I'm just asking. Like,
no,
would you vote for someone who released? You wouldn't vote for someone who released violent criminals into the country? No. Well, Donald Trump pardoned people who violently assaulted police officers, admitted to it, and were convicted of it. Dean just told you about that, and apparently you didn't listen. Jesus Christ, dude.
Trump did not release violent criminals into this country.
Yes, he did. He pardoned people who violently assaulted police officers.
He also pardoned an anti-abortion activist who had a dead fetus in her basement, with fetuses in her basement.
Can you tell me where you're getting that source? What source are you getting that
Yeah,
from?
sure. The Independent and HuffPost.
What is it What does it say exactly? Like, does it just say Trump pardon Trump?
Yeah, he pardoned Lauren Handy, who was discovered to have stolen fetal remains in her house.
And maybe that was a bad thing that he did. I'm not saying that Trump's perfect.
Oh my God! Why is it literally
Did I ever
Jesus
say Trump is
2.0 perfect? Shut up, Trevor.
Did I ever
Why?
say-
I told you to shut up. Good boy. Why is it literally perfect Jesus 2.0 or literal criminal convict that steals dead fetuses' body parts? It's fucking crazy to me. I'm pretty sure somewhere in the picture there's a good in between. I've never got that line of argumentation. It used to be I'd convince people Trump was a rapist, and they're like, well, I never said he was the savior, Lord to be, perfect Jesus, right? Like, I'm pretty sure, there's a good median there. It's not all cold, it's not all hot, just a good in between. Like, you ever hear that story about, the little bears and their soup, not too hot, not too cold, just quite right. That's the in between I'm looking for. I'm not voting for Jesus. I'm just not voting for, I don't know, a guy that pardoned violent offenders, a guy that raped a woman, or a guy that wanted to religiously persecute and shut down all new Muslims from entering into the country. It's crazy. It's nuts.
Because you're acting like we can vote for someone that's perfect when we can't vote for anyone.
Trevor,
Nobody's perfect.
Trevor, I'm going to ask you an honest question, and I want an honest answer. What do you think your IQ is?
I don't know.
I want you to take a guess.
Oh, it's like low. I already know what you're going to
No,
say.
no. I
What you're
want
gonna
you
say,
to tell
'cause
me what you
this is
think.
what you and Mark
We're not.
agree.
Here. I will make you a promise. We will not say what we think.
I already know
right?
what you and Parker
But
do.
like, you
ask this
just tell us
question
what you think.
for me to say something and be like, oh, nope.
No. I just want
we
you
won't
to
even
tell
say
us what
anything
you
about
think.
it. I won't say a single thing.
I've watched enough of your guys' lives. To
I
know
promise. I actually give you my word. I won't say a single thing
try
about
to trick
it.
someone so you guys can come after them and be like,
I
"You
seriously
got
just
me."
want. I'm actually just genuinely curious.
I'm not sure what my IQ would be.
Just like if you would guess, if you could guess.
I actually don't know.
Take a guess.
I don't have a guess. And no matter what I say, I don't trust your guys' word.
No, I just want to hear. I just want to hear. I just want to hear.
I don't know. That's my answer. I don't know.
You don't know?
No, I don't. I don't know. Is that wrong for me not to know something?
No, it's fair.
Because, I mean, do you guys know everything?
I know every fact of reality. Every
Yeah, no,
single one.
Trevor, ask me anything.
I'm fucking omniscient, dude. Ask me
Oh.
anything, buddy.
Cloud 11.
Jeez, bro.
Sophie, thank you so much for the $5 on Venmo.
What are you talking about? Go. Try it, Trevor.
Wait, what? No.
Go for it, bud.
Anything.
Jim was saying something.
Ask anything.
We
Any
know
fact of reality.
everything. We know everything. Ask anything. I'm being
Jesus
serious.
Christ.
Ask some obscure question.
How many fish are in the ocean?
Actually, it's about 3.215647 trillion.
It's actually significantly more than that because about
No,
a trillion
I know.
aquatic
No, it's not,
are
Dean.
killed every
No,
year.
it's not. No, it's not. Shut up.
So you guys can't agree on that.
No, Dean's just fucking lying. He's just fucking lying. Dean's a grifter. He's lying. Right? Don't believe him.
Oh, okay. How many trees are in the world?
Infinite.
And
We live in Minecraft. No matter which way you go, it's going to be infinite.
so could I
Yeah, just gotta wait for the new ones to
could I
render
hit a
in.
tree?
You just gotta wait for it to render in. Yeah.
Could I hit a tree enough times with my fist?
Okay, Trevor. Can you give me something? Can you give me something relevant to the conversation? Why you supported Trump? Because really, you didn't know any policy. You didn't have any real basis for the reason why you voted for Trump. It sounds like you just voted on vibes.
Yeah.
Conservatives always say facts over feelings, but then 99% of conservatives are just oh well, eggs were low, and then it's bro, Trump's tariffs are going to cause the prices to go up, right?
And
That's
what about
right.
gas?
And then now they're about to realize because the tariffs are literally going to cause the price up, and then it's gonna be like, whoa, Donald Trump lied.
What about gas?
Can we be?
How can you do that?
Can we be done with Trevor?
What about gas? prices?
Yes. Bye.
we gotta just beat that.
Thank you for
one
the
to a
suggestion.
pulp.
I really
That
appreciate
conversation.
that. Yo, what's up, James? How old are you?
Boy, you already know me.
I don't
are
know
you?
you. Who the fuck are you?
You know you blocked me before.
I blocked
Oh.
you. Then
I'm
you
James
probably did some
Kelly.
crazy shit.
I'm James Kelly.
James, listen,
Dude,
listen, here.
I don't know who that is.
Listen here,
Anyway,
James. So
can
our
Can you give me
mods,
any like relevant? Are you Tomater?
listen here, James. So our
Oh,
mods,
later.
our mods can block people, and it says you were blocked by the host. Now you're blocked by mod.
You
Thank you so
block,
much.
you
I
mods
appreciate
can
it.
block people. That's because y'all don't want to hear the truth.
You are Tomater. Yes.
Oh my
Now I
God.
remember you.
Okay, all right, James. Tell me the truth. Wait, James. I want you to tell me exactly what you think about me.
Well, I don't think a lot about you. About a hill of beans is what I think about you.
A hill of beans. That was like
Wait,
the
James.
most-
I have a question. Can you name one
Okay.
policy you like of Donald Trump's?
Title 42 was pretty good.
That wasn't Trump's, bruh.
Oh,
That was an emergency policy for COVID by Congress.
Well, who put? Okay, well, who approved it? Because it takes 3 branches of government to do that.
Yeah, it was as much
Both
of
Biden and Trump.
Do what?
Both of them. Both Biden and Trump. So did you vote
No,
Trump and Biden?
Biden repealed Title 42.
Yashika, I appreciate you for the $5 on Venmo, and I typically
Because of
live stream for
Congress.
4 hours a day.
No,
Appreciate
it
it,
didn't.
Alex.
It
Thank you so
wasn't-
much. I
it
appreciate it.
wasn't
Thank you.
because of Congress.
Didn't they
It's 'cause
extend it?
Congress
Didn't they
let him-
extend Title 42 under
Congress
Biden?
Let him repeal it. Yeah.
They extended it. Do you agree that they extended it?
No, I don't.
No? Okay.
Okay, so you came up in here all like hot and ready. You were like, "Oh, you blocked me because you don't want to hear the truth," and then we let you speak, and you just don't have jack shit.
Do tariffs work?
No. Well, it depends on what you mean by work. Do they work to
are you
achieve
sure-
a
are you
higher
sure about
capacity of
that?
domestic production?
Rihanna,
Yes.
thank you so much. I appreciate the unicorn fantasy. Thank you so much, Rihanna. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Do tariffs work to achieve a higher level of domestic production of goods?
Hold
Yes.
on, let me-
Are they
let me-
are they the most
let me-
optimal way with
yes,
less negative
no, let me-
byproducts to achieve?
Thank
Hey
you for
James, shut the
wasting
fuck up
money.
while the real man is talking. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good boy. Moving back to what I
What
said.
the hell
Do
are you
tariffs
talking about,
5?
real
Don't be a
man? I'm
toddler.
the only
4.
man in
Don't
this
be a kid.
conversation.
3. Okay, so you think that you could have a penis, not be a man?
They
Quite
have a
progressive of
fucked
you.
up post. I just saw something in Discord. They have a fucked up post, and I kicked them. Can I get this next person up here? Everyone, tap the screen. Get to 500,000 likes. Share the live as well, everyone. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Kalia, thank you so much. I appreciate the $1. Thank you so much. Hannah, thank you for the $5. Thank you so much. Rachel, I appreciate the $3. Trevor, thank you for the $1. Thank you so much. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Thank you, everyone, for the DNC checks. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, everyone.
Yeah, we really appreciate the DNC checks
I
as of
appreciate the
recently.
DNC checks. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Troll.
22.
Cool. Okay. All right, let's get this next person up here.
Hey, Emily, thank you for the $5 donation on PayPal.
Yo, what's
It
up? How old
means
are
the
you?
world.
Hey, yo, what's up? I'm 23.
Did you vote Trump?
Yes.
Why
Are
so?
you anti-abortion?
What?
Are you pro-life?
Yeah. Hey, I just got a question for both of you real quick.
Go ahead.
Who is the 47th president of the United States?
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump.
All right. So why don't you guys sit here and fucking cry about that for a little bit longer and maybe it'll change. I don't think so, though. Another
So,
4
Zach-
years, my boy.
I
Can you give
appreciate
me like a
the
Trump
cute.
policy you like?
Wait,
No,
I just want to
I don't
clarify.
care. The
what
world's
Zach
better
said
with him.
real
So.
quick.
Nah.
I want to clarify what Zach said. So Zach, you're like actively propagating. You're actively propagating anti-intellectualism, like with a comment such as that one. Like, I understand that politics are frustrating, and it's really easy to get angry at people that disagree with you, especially when human rights and basic dignity are
dude.
politicized.
Dude.
But I think that the point that I'd like to communicate to you is the reason we're on the live today. It's not to deny Trump's presidency or change the fact that he's president, but it's to get people to vote better in 2026 and 2028. Given like a critique of their thought process.
I don't think that anybody is gonna vote for Kamala in 2026.
Kamala, bro.
Kamala, bro.
So
Yeah,
let's have a conversation about the reasons and internal motivation. Is it because you can't? Because you're
Kamala
fucking
Harris.
stupid, Zach?
Black niggers.
Shut the fuck.
Bro, that's crazy. You just cooked yourself. That's crazy, bro. Holy shit, dude. What the fuck is wrong with those people? Bro.
I'm usually like mentally prepared to hear slurs. I was not prepared for that one at all. I was like, that one really, really strongly caught me off guard.
Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 27.
Did you vote Trump?
I supported for Trump, but Washington electoral votes would actually just make my vote no reason.
Okay. Why did you support Trump? How old are you?
I'm 27.
Okay. Why did you support Trump then?
I support Trump on probably mostly like social issues, I guess.
What social issues?
So, like,
Oh my God, Kiara! Thank you so much for the $100 donation on PayPal. I want to see at least 1,000 big W's for Kiara. That is Kiara.
Oh, and Kiara with the $100 on
Down
PayPal as
below.
well. Thank you so much, Kiara. Can we get some W's for Kiara?
In that
my
chat,
God.
everybody, let's get at least 200 big booms for Kiara. That is so incredibly kind of you, and I really appreciate you for the love. Thank you, Kiara.
that's awesome. Okay, so I support Trump on probably his social issues, like abortion, the border, this weird rhetoric that comes from the left often that anybody of lighter skin complexion is more likely to be racist. Those I'm pretty
Have you
like
ever wait? I have an honest question.
yes.
Have you ever researched the reasons behind the claim that black people can't be racist in America?
Yeah, I have, but I don't think
Can you tell me about that research? What have you found out?
Yeah,
Why
of
do
course.
people
So
say that?
pretty much mostly the claim is that black people cannot be racist because they do not have a structure of people to ultimately oppress another. But you could see microcosms of this within society. Of course, like you're not going to be looking abroad, like with a 45% of white people in America as being the majority. But although that is the case, you can look at situations where you have a smaller group of people who can oppress somebody's.
I think like the main message. Now this is just how I perceive it, and I could be wrong, but
Okay.
I'll give it my perception. I think the main motivation behind this distinction between racism and prejudice, insofar as a description of the idea that white people can be racist, black people cannot be racist, is a description of societal powers and how they're distributed amongst different races, and how black people can face forms of oppression relating to their race that white people could never face as a form of oppression relating to their race. And there's just such a different, like a drastically large difference in the level and forms of oppression that a white person can suffer compared to a black person, that it deserves to be defined differently. Like, no one will ever deny that it is entirely possible for a black person to be prejudiced against white people. And like, in fact, it definitely happens. But the reason we separate those definitions is because a prejudice that a black person may hold to a white person won't ultimately cause that white person to lose their job, will ultimately cause that white person to lose a federal protection through an executive order passed in the 50s, protecting against discrimination on the basis of race. And will just hurt that white person in a significantly different and less drastic way in which that same prejudice can impact a black person. And that's like my
thank you
best
so much for the
perception.
$42. Thank you so much on Cash App. Can we get some W's for Bandit in the comment section right now for the $42? Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. We need some W's for Bandit in the comments.
You've made a claim and then you've assigned value to potential severities of racism, and I don't think that really I don't think that's true. I think that your beginning statement that black people cannot be racist, I think you just said that they could actually.
I said prejudice. Everybody can be
Prejudice is
prejudiced.
included in racism.
And that's the difference. Because
No, you
under
just
the
said
view
that. You just literally said that black people
How-
can be
but-
prejudiced, which is racism.
Yes. However, right, if you were to ask one
Adam,
which would define racism in a way in which would not apply to black individuals, it would also require some necessary component of societal power or influence insofar as systems of leadership, the government,
Okay.
and forms of oppression beyond word of mouth prejudice.
Okay, do you think that other people can be prejudiced of their own race? So why are we isolating, or why are we making racism as exclusively like only produced from other races? I mean, I feel like even white people can be racist to white people, and I feel like that
when
has been an issue here.
when you use the term prejudice interchangeably with racist, you are right, but it just
Wait,
it
can you
leaves-
give me an example of a white person being racist to a white person?
Wait,
Of course, yeah.
I just said that I just said that he would be right in accordance with his definition. I really need to finish that sentence out so people don't misconstrue my position, and then answer Parker's question. So if you use the term prejudice interchangeably with racist, you are right. But the reason we shouldn't use the term prejudice interchangeably with the term racist is because it's just anti-intellectual. It's anti-intellectualism at its finest, and it just literally leaves out room for nuance to understand different levels of prejudice and how they can impact different individuals predicated on their race in significantly different ways. And
So-
now go ahead and answer Parker's question.
So you're actually just trying to establish variations of racism, which I understand that, and you're assigning value to severities that possibly could affect a different minority. But I don't think that makes your beginning statement true, Dean. And I think you need to probably review the beginning statement that you made with me, because you're absolutely wrong on the statement. But
Yeah,
what
you're
did
just
you
telling
ask,
me that I'm
Parker?
wrong, and like that's like how a semantic debate goes. My claim is that there's such a difference in the level of harm and the mode of prejudice that it would constitute a different term. Like for instance, like at what point is a sedan a truck? At what point is a truck
Okay.
an SUV? You know, like we define terms differently, even if they'd fall in similar categories based upon variation in character attributes. And I believe there is a sufficient variation of the prejudice suffered from white people in America and by white people in America to constitute different terms.
So
Can I ask you why you voted Trump, please?
yeah,
Sorry for that
Like I
monologue.
said,
I'm
I live
sorry.
in Washington State, so I really didn't vote. But
Why
I
you support Trump then?
so
Why you think he's a better candidate than what the Democrats
yeah, of course. I mean,
had to offer?
like I said, it's mostly the social issues, the border issue. I feel like,
What in particular?
huh?
What in particular about those things?
So
Any
like,
policies you support of Donald Trump's?
of course, yeah. When you're talking about the Democratic Party talks about different variations of abortion, and like the 9-month non-lethal abortion, and then you have a wider range of option within the Democratic Party. The typical belief of it. I do believe in a more restrictive abortion policy. I believe in a remain in Mexico. Although I do believe it
Okay,
was
so
only,
you want stricter abortion policy. Can I ask you a question?
yeah, sure. Go.
You think that abortion should be illegal? What is the reason why abortion should be illegal?
Because I do assign value to an embryo. I assign
Okay,
value.
I have a question. If you were in a burning building and you could either save a tray of 5 embryos or one newborn baby from burning alive, which would you rather save?
Right. That's a straw man, actually. Because can I answer that real quick? Can I give you? So listen, if you ask me that, I have assigned value to anybody. If somebody is evil, and I believe they are evil, I believe they are less valuable than somebody else I have. That is a bias that I have. If somebody is born and they have relationships in person, I believe that they have a value here. Where embryos, I think they are assigned a value, and we're not really disputing on rather which one's important. The disputation, where the dispute is coming from, is that rather if the embryo is important enough to where it will get aborted, right? Parker, you're trying to straw man me there, and I think that's really intellectually dishonest. Because we're not getting to a bottom of a situation there. You're really backing me in the corner.
Okay, well then can I ask you, what about 100 embryos? 100 embryos or one newborn baby?
I don't really. One newborn baby that's already had, definitely has the feeling of pain. I assign a value to that, where they can feel a pain. There's definitely sentience. There's a relationship probably with the mother.
Okay. I'm asking. Okay, what about 1,000 embryos?
So no matter how many times you do that, I do not think it will.
What
equate
about
to
what about
an actual newborn
100,000 embryos? Would you like to answer the question now? What about 100,000 embryos or one newborn baby? Which one?
baby? How about a baby to your whole family, Parker?
You'd rather pick the newborn baby, correct?
Yes, but how about a baby to your
Okay,
family?
so the reason why you would rather pick the newborn baby over the million embryos is because embryos don't have sentience, right? Newborn baby does have sentience,
But
right? And that's going to provide a really big distinction in the value. So then here's my question: if you value one sentient being so much more than you value, right, one non-sentient, just cellular life, can you
But-
please explain to me why a woman shouldn't be able to get access? A sentient woman shouldn't be able to get access to an abortion in the first trimester before it's sentient.
I never disputed that they should not have any abortion rights. Actually, from the very
You said
beginning,
it should be illegal, but okay.
I said my claim is that we should have more restrictive abortion policy. If you don't,
Yeah, can you explain to me what that means then?
I'm talking like first trimester, probably within sentience, but also I will
What week?
maybe the 8th week, something
Why
like
8
that.
weeks?
Eighth week, I think you have a good buffer period. I think 6 weeks is where you really figure out, and I believe inaction is action.
Why 6 or 8 weeks? What specifically develops within the brain that you
Well,
think is relevant towards the subjective
So,
experience?
correct me if I'm wrong here, but I believe at 3 months or so is where most people come to the conclusion that the fetus has, or the baby in that state has gained sentience in some point, like some sort of self-awareness.
Are you gonna answer the question? What part of the brain?
What? That was never a question. What part of the brain? What do you mean?
Wait. Is he saying that consciousness emerges at 8 weeks?
No, I'm saying sentience. I'm just saying
Okay,
sentience.
yeah. Well, I know what you're talking about. So and the reason I'm so sure about this is because this is the only evidence that has ever been pushed for the topic, and I researched it extensively. It became my hyperfixation for 7 months. So the only evidence that exists to indicate sentience at about 6 to 8 weeks is studies from the 70s, when doctors would literally take live fetuses and test their brains for alpha and delta brain waves, and they found low levels. So A, immoral study, and B, we do not think that all levels of brain activity equate to sentience.
Right.
And then B, since the 70s, our medical understanding of the emergence of consciousness has continually updated. For instance, in the 80s, there's a medical consensus on it emerging at about 12 weeks. In the 90s and early aughts, that shifted to 18 weeks. And then I think the last big study that came out on this was early early 2010s that indicated it was about the 20 to 24 week mark. And the most contentious debate in academia about the emergence of sentience right now is 18 to 24 weeks. The idea that sentience would emerge earlier than that, such as the 70s reference, the studies reference from the 70s to do the alpha and beta brainwaves present at about 6 to 8 weeks, have been completely ruled out by any credible academic.
Okay.
Sierra, thank you so much for the $1. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Mary, thank you so much. I appreciate the $1. And then Amelia, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you.
I struggle to give that version of or whatever your research you have done, Dean. Although I think you're an intelligent guy, I really am reluctant on giving you the benefit of the doubt there, because I think that you do play with these definitions and you play with these quote unquote research.
Don't give me the benefit of the doubt. Just give like the
What is your source? Could you name your source, please?
Sure. For like, I made a lot of claims there. Which one?
Yeah, your entire claim was pretty much a conjunction of many studies, right?
Yeah. So there's a
And you're also saying those are the only studies.
So they're like the main studies as proponed by academics, but you're gonna have to name like the specific claim you want to source for. So the overwhelming archive would be PubMed. But of course, if you name like the specific claim you'd like evidence for, it could indicate it to you.
True,
Yeah.
thank you so much for the $25 on Venmo. Thank you so much. I aspire to be as elevated as you are.
So sentience is kind of a loaded.
Hannah, thank you so much for the $25 donation on PayPal, saying congrats on the new place. Thanks for educating people. Hey, well, I appreciate you for the love, Hannah. Let's get at least 250 big W's for Hannah down below in that chat. That's incredibly kind. As well as Maya, thank you so much for the $10 on PayPal. I do really appreciate you so much for the love.
Enough people want me to kick you. I'm going to kick you.
Yeah,
I don't really talk to him. And Travis, thank you so much for the $25. Thank you so much for ending my birthday watching your stream. Also, hello, Dean. Yo, Travis, happy birthday. Happy birthday, Travis. Can we do happy birthdays for Travis in the comment section, everyone?
Hello.
Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Hey, I'm 20.
Did you vote Trump?
I did.
Why so?
Gun policy, and yeah, we'll go on gun policy first.
Okay. So I have a question. Are you pro-choice or pro-life?
It's a tough one. I mean, I don't really care. I guess you could say I'm more.
Do you think it should be
I'm more
illegal or
pro-life.
illegal?
I think it should be legal to a certain extent. Yeah.
Okay. Do you think it should be illegal within the first trimester?
Sure, that's fine.
Legal or illegal?
Well, no, I mean, I'm sorry. I misheard. It should be legal during the first. That's fine.
Okay. When should it be illegal?
After the first trimester.
Okay. What week?
It doesn't matter a specific week to me. I mean, after the first trimester, it would be fine.
Okay. All right. So then do you think that Donald Trump's abortion policy, particularly trying to restrict women's access to abortion in instances even should they've been assaulted in certain states, do you think that's bad? Because he put 3 Supreme Court justices in office with the explicit reason of overturning Roe versus Wade?
I don't necessarily think it's bad. I don't particularly have an opinion on abortion. I don't think it's my job to have an opinion on abortion.
But you voted for Donald Trump, who actively legislates like abortion policy that restricts women's access to abortion, even in instances in which they've been assaulted.
Yeah, because like I stated before, I don't really have an opinion, so it doesn't matter to me that he is fighting against abortion or if somebody's fighting for abortion. It doesn't matter. That's not going to earn my vote.
You don't care about women's rights?
No, I do. I care about when have I said that?
You understand that this is referencing women's rights to get access to abortion, right? So I have a question. What's your reason for why you wanted to restrict, or I mean, why you said you voted for Donald Trump based on gun policy?
Yeah. So I mean, over the multitude of interviews I've heard Kamala Harris do throughout the years, I just can't vote for someone who was so left leaning to begin with, and then to play as a moderate in the 2024 election. It just seems so fishy to me.
Trump used to be a Democrat and now he's a Republican. Is that
You're correct.
fishy?
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
Is that fishy?
No, it's not fishy at all. I mean, you guys would all
Why is
agree
that?
that his
Why
views
is
are-
it fishy with Kamala Harris?
because it was literally the last election. She was a far left.
Changed her views. Like,
Yeah, she changed her views completely, and Trump has already been in office. And
what's wrong with
proven himself
changing
as
views
a-
over? Wait. So all she really changed isn't like the ethics or the values behind her views. All she changed is like how she's applying the view. Like she's willing to compromise in order to get things done. That's really it. Like, I don't understand why this is like a huge thing for you to understand.
Yeah, because she still stated. I mean, she stated multiple times that, and every Democrat thinks this. Every Democrat thinks that things like AR-15s and certain firearms should be banned, and that's just complete.
Okay, I have a question. Do you think that what's upholding your rights to get access to guns? Is it the Constitution? Okay, so Donald Trump called for the termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
And that's coming after your gun rights.
No, I'm pretty sure there's a certain clause in the Constitution that states that if what's that?
Whitney, thank you for the $40 donation on PayPal. I really appreciate you for that love, Whitney. It means the absolute world to me. I want everybody to show some love to Whitney in the comment section right now. Whitney says, I appreciate you guys so much. Well, I appreciate you so much. Everybody, please show some love, as well as Casey with a $5 donation. Thank you so very, very much. And Tree with the $25 on Venmo as well. Thank you so much, Tree and Whitney. Let's get at least 500 big W's for Tree, Whitney down below in that comment section right now. Thank you.
Yeah, and Parker, I think it's very funny you brought up women's rights. The left is so hypocritical when it comes to things like this. This is why you can't get votes. I'll explain to you right now. What you just stated was that abortion is a woman's right. Under your guys' view, it should be a female right because women who have transitioned into men can still get pregnant if they have the same.
Yeah,
parts they had before.
and anyone, the correct way of saying it would be anyone who has the capacity of getting pregnant.
Yeah, so why not say that?
Yeah, well, you can say that as well.
So, I mean, why do you go around saying women's rights? Why does the entire left?
Because it's applicable to both.
Women?
Well, it's also women's rights.
But it should be female rights.
You could say, yeah, you could also frame it that way. You could frame it either way.
Yeah, so I mean, I just don't
But
understand
they're
that.
both true.
But if a conservative says something that's semantics or says something,
And I wouldn't say specifically female. I would say anyone with the capacity to get pregnant.
but you just told me earlier women's rights. You purposely didn't use that terminology.
Yeah, you understand that, like, when I'm saying women's rights, I'm not saying every woman, right, can get access or specifically can get pregnant, right, or would be able to get an abortion. That's not the claim, right? It's just saying that it's like typically going to affect women's access to abortion. That's all we're saying in that context.
Yeah,
So
so
when
just,
I am referencing abortion rights, that is referencing women's rights.
but not
Also
men's rights.
referencing it's also referencing the rights of any individual in which has a capacity to get pregnant.
Yeah, so I mean, I see what you're saying, but
Is that hard to understand?
no, it's not. It's not hard to understand. I'm just saying that I find it very ironic that if I were to call someone who is transitioned from a woman to a man and they are now a man, you are not advocating for their abortion rights, even though they still have.
No, we are advocating for their rights.
Okay, well, I guess you just don't say it a lot. Then you don't ever say you're advocating for their rights.
Well, I have a question. Would you like us to be more trans inclusive?
If that is your guys' policy and you don't, or that's
Are you saying that you should be more trans inclusive?
I'm saying you should.
Should you?
Women's
I have a
rights.
question. Should you be more inclusive?
Should I be more inclusive?
Yeah.
How would I go about being more inclusive? I haven't done anything not inclusive.
Well, I mean, you're voting for Donald Trump.
so right now,
actively
technically,
engages
I'm
in
more inclusive than you
transphobia.
are.
I mean, you're voting for Donald Trump, who actively engages in transphobia all the time.
Transphobia. Do you all right? Do you have a source that Donald Trump is transphobic?
Yeah, he wants to ban trans people from the military. That's an example of transphobia.
Sure. Okay. So let me ask
Can
you.
you give me the argument for why it's justified to to ban trans people from the military?
I can give you an argument why it's justified to ban
Can you answer the
trans
question?
people from. Yeah. I can give you an argument as to why it's applicable to ban trans people from the combat zones in the military. I can very much go ahead and give you that.
Explain.
Yeah, so that's what Trump is advocating for, by the way. The reasoning is because let's say a trans woman is in the combat zone, and then all of a sudden, let's say they went from a man to a woman, right? Now, or let's say they went from a woman to a man, and so they take testosterone. It is my view that if they are taking medication like testosterone, if they are not able to get those medications, they will be sick, like very sick. I've seen people who have stopped taking testosterone or TRT, and they get extremely nauseous. They are super weak. So that is part of the reason, is because if you're in a combat zone, you don't always have access to health care.
Okay, so would you say that's true for anything in which anyone would require? So you're saying no one who requires medication should be allowed in the military?
In a combat
zones?
zone.
Okay, well, that's one. That's a crazy thing, and then two, you understand that when it comes to this, you're still saying that it should be up to like the person whether or not they meet the qualifications already. If they meet the qualifications already, why would you restrict them from doing this? That's completely and utterly their position, right? There are plenty of risky things that can happen to you when you're going into a combat zone. And for you to say because one risky thing can happen, trans people should not be allowed into a combat zone is utterly ridiculous when you're referencing individuals going into a combat zone. That's like actually like in of itself an incredibly risky behavior.
Yeah.
Okay? So you're saying it's okay because people can consent to it and because people meet the qualifications of the military. So if trans people meet those qualifications in the context of the military, and it is the case that they want to do this, then why would you restrict them? That's absolutely transphobic because you're discriminating against trans people.
But it's not transphobic. All right,
It is. It totally fucking is.
No, it's not. So if you're transitioning from a man to a woman, or let's say a woman to a man, because we're on that example right now, and let's say that you can pass the physical test needed to enter a combat zone as a woman before you transition, before you take any drugs. Feel free to join a combat zone as a male or a female. It doesn't matter, a man or a woman. I don't care. As long as you can meet criteria, regardless of medication, then I am down with it. But
Then
I don't
you wouldn't be
think
for banning trans people from the military.
No,
that's
because
the
I don't
fucking
think
point.
on any medication going into a combat zone. Just like if somebody has asthma, they're not allowed to go in a combat zone because they cannot run without being winded. Would you like to run? Let's say
Do you think anyone who's diabetic should be able to go into a combat zone?
That's iffy because there's ways to control that with like a patch. You can put a patch on and go in there.
Okay, wait, but you understand that you could. Wait, how are you going to evaluate? Wait, now that's medication, but you understand that's medication,
But
right?
it's not.
Like in some extent.
Yeah, I'll give you an example. So like you can
Would
stick
you
a
agree
patch.
that's to some extent medication, right? What if you don't have the patch?
Yeah. If you don't have the patch, then I guess you're gonna have to eat crackers or eat whatever they're eating, and then make sure you track your blood sugar. That's an example. But I'm
Okay,
going.
wait. So then, why are you restricting trans people, but you're not restricting?
Because a patch you can throw in a rucksack. You can throw patches in a rucksack. If you
Aren't
throw,
there like ones for testosterone as well?
Yeah, if you throw testosterone in a rucksack, it's going to spoil. And if you inject spoiled testosterone, you will almost pretty much just be unalive.
I don't know if it's injecting if you're doing it through a patch.
That's you can't do testosterone through patches.
Oh my gosh.
I'm pretty sure you can.
Testosterone replacement
I
therapy?
Is it
bet
true?
you
I'm
can.
not sure.
I bet you can.
I don't.
You could do so much through patches. I bet you.
Yeah,
can.
yeah. Trisha said they give you $2. She said my trans cis has an estrogen patch.
Hey,
Estrogen
Laura,
may
thank
be
you for the
different.
$5 on Venmo. Taryn with the $2 on Venmo. Anthony with $1 on Venmo. Just saying, shut up, calm down, Anthony. And Shelby with the $11 on Venmo. I appreciate you for the love. And Sunbury with $1.
I would love to see. Oh my bad, dude.
Shelby, thank you so much for the $11. Thank you so much. I appreciate it on Venmo. Thank you so much. Brittany, thank you for the $10. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And Hannah, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you for the $25. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you. And on God, thank you so much for the $10. Thank you so much. I really appreciate y'all.
I would love to see the scientific studies behind the testosterone patch. I don't think that's a thing. But if it is,
Okay,
then,
okay.
if
Wait,
you
wait,
put
wait. So
estrogen-
wait. So I have a question. So do you agree there's estrogen patches?
I can see how there would
So,
be.
so
I
do you
don't, I'm
think?
not
So do you think trans women should be allowed into combat zones?
trans women who are. What do you mean, women that people that have transitioned from men to women?
So they're male, but they're women.
Yeah,
Okay.
but-
So trans women should be. Do you think trans women should be allowed within the context of the military? Because you agreed that there's patches that are like estrogen patches.
If you are asking me, I'm confused on the question almost.
You
I guess
can't-
the
you can't
terminology.
answer.
No, I can't answer. I promise I'll answer. I'm trying to see. Are they going from a male to a female, or are they going
Because
from
you said people who have patches, particularly, and that's the way that they take the medication, can go into combat zones. But yet you said trans people should be banned from the military. So I'm telling you, this is
Not from the
transphobic, and
military.
it's utterly transphobic because
Just
what you're
from
doing is
combat
you're
zones.
banning trans people literally with no fucking reasoning.
That's not no
That's why it's
reasoning. That's
transphobic,
reasoning.
and that's what Donald Trump perpetuates. So when you vote for Donald Trump, you are perpetuating transphobia.
Okay, so do you think we should have? Do you think the military should have DEI in general? Do you think that we should have a?
Wait, why are you pivoting?
I'm not pivoting. It's an example of DEI. Which
Do you
is-
think the Electoral College should have DEI? Oh wait, no, it is. It is DEI. So should there be the Electoral College, or should we have gotten rid of it? So Trump shouldn't have been president in 2016.
Sanctuary. thank you.
Sorry, not been president. Sorry, like voted to presidency. He was inaugurated in
Sanctuary.
2017.
Thank you for the $20 donation on Venmo, saying $1 per IQ point of Dawson. I appreciate you for the $20 donation. That's incredibly kind of you. You should have sent me a couple pennies.
Ashley, thank you so much. I appreciate the $5. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. They said there's many forms of HRT tablets, pouches, gel, etc. Harmony, thank you so much for the $1. Thank you so much.
Yep. So
And
the
then
amount of
Avery, thank you so
testosterone
much for
needed
the
to be-
$1. And Avery, thank you for the $1. I appreciate it.
I highly doubt you get the 300 nanograms per deciliter.
Jessica, thank you
on
for
a
the
patch.
$10. Thank you, Jessica. You know what? I say
300
we
nanograms?
kick them.
300 nanograms per deciliter on a patch is incredibly plausible. In fact, 300 nanograms per deciliter is like on the lower end.
This next person up here, only send a guest request if you did vote Trump. We are just looking for some debates, everyone. Only send a guest request if you did vote Trump. We are just looking for some debates. Keep tapping that screen. Let's run it up to 1 million likes, y'all. You what's up? How old are you?
Hello? Hello, I'm 20.
What's your birth year?
2004.
Okay. Did you vote Trump?
Yes.
Why so?
So I just want to say thank you for letting me join. Dean, I saw your 1v20. I want
I'm
to say.
sorry. I don't think you're 20 years old. I really apologize.
Oh, I appreciate you for watching the 1v20. Hey, Parker, I'm going to go ahead and hop off for the night. I'm going to go ahead and continue to build some furniture. Jeez, my days have been so long. I've not
Have
had a
fun,
break.
bro.
I've been working for like 5 days straight. It's like 6 hours of
Hello?
working on the
Do you hear me?
place and then like 4 hours of streaming and then like straight to bed. But I'm going to go ahead and hop off, Parker. I'm going to go ahead and hop off chat.
Appreciate
I love
you.
you all.
Good seeing you, bro.
Peace out, everyone. Good seeing you as well. Peace.
Yeah, Ford, did you vote Trump?
Yes, I did, but I have a very special situation. So I'm actually a medical student right now. I'm Ukrainian. I was born in Ukraine, raised in Ukraine, and 4 years ago, I came to USA, specifically California, to study in university. Now I'm again in Europe, in Spain, because there is a better specialty for my endocrinologist. And so I continue studying here. But I have a very big support for Trump. And actually, my sister, she's currently in Philadelphia.
Can you tell me why you voted Trump?
Yeah, so you're currently you were speaking, and Dean was speaking a lot about Ukraine, the whole situation. So I know it from the first person. So actually, I was born in Donetsk, and my house was bombed in 2014. That made me to move to this central part of the Ukraine. But after the whole invasion in 2022, you know about
What state you live in?
Currently, I'm in Europe, but I was living in California, in Los Angeles. And I finished high school in USA
And you're
as well.
currently in Europe right now.
Yes, because there is better.
What's the capital of California?
I have no clue. I can tell you which. So do I continue? Hello?
So like, what do you like about Donald Trump's policy?
Yeah. So here's the thing. I want to criticize specifically Biden. So you know about Budapest Memorandum. You know that the agreement that
If you don't answer
we
my
give-
question, I'll just kick you.
All right.
Hello? Okay. All right.
Yo, hello.
Did you vote Trump?
Yes, sir.
Why so?
I like his policy a lot more than Biden. I like how he views abortion. I like what he's doing currently right now. He got hostages back. I like the deportation, all of it.
Okay. You like the deportation? Okay, so I have a question. How do you identify that people are undocumented to be able to deport them if they haven't committed a crime?
If they came here illegally, they already committed a crime in doing just that.
Yeah, but if you haven't identified that they've committed a crime, then obviously you won't be able to like ask them for papers. You know, you can't like force anyone to give up papers against their constitutional rights. You can't force anyone to identify themselves unless they've committed a crime.
I mean, obviously they're
explain to me.
fighting. I mean, obviously Trump is finding a way to do so right now, and I agree with what he's doing. So, I like. Are you saying like he's?
Okay.
Are you saying like he's just willy nilly just blind deporting people right now? Is that what you think he's doing? Because the way
So,
I
like
view-
in terms of
go ahead.
what policies did he pass?
I'm pretty sure it was just executive orders as far as this point. To
Which
my
executive
knowledge.
order did you like?
I mean, he did a bunch. I didn't sit there and memorize them all, but I mean, I was watching something and they're going after like top priority suspects that do have criminal charges. Like I was watching one. They were going after someone who had criminal charges, and then he was living with a buddy because they said,
Would you vote for someone who released violent criminals into the country?
No, I don't think Trump did that though.
How do you feel about him pardoning people who violently assaulted police officers, admitted to it, and pled guilty to it?
I mean, Biden pardoned his son, which is a criminal. So, I mean, how do you
Not
view
a violent
that?
criminal.
I mean, Trump expressed his views on the January 6th. He said even if they did assault people, they have already done a fair share of time. So, because there's people in this country now that are murderers that are walking scot-free. So.
You think they've done enough time if they violently beat police officers?
Look, I don't know the specifics of it. I'm not a January 6th expert, but Trump said even if these people did do violent things, they have already been behind bars for a substantial amount of time.
That doesn't sound like pro-police.
I mean, okay. It might not. I mean, I still agree with the guy. He's doing great things right now. I mean, look at how other countries are responding to the way he's in office right now. They walked all over Biden. They did whatever they wanted.
It's negatively because Trump is trying to impose tariffs.
And they're
There's gonna be
working. They're
imposing
working
trade wars.
exactly how they're supposed to work. It's called leverage. Look at what he just did with Colombia. Leverage. He got what he wanted in an hour. In an hour's time, just by announcing tariffs, he got exactly what he wanted.
Yeah, Colombia is increasing the tariffs to 50% on us.
Okay, do we need Colombia? Because last I checked, we're on top. So I mean, I'm under the assumption other countries need us a lot more than we need
I'm
them.
pretty sure. Like, do you drink coffee?
No.
No. Well, for people who drink coffee, they're about 25% of, I'm pretty sure, our coffee that's imported in the country.
Okay, we can't make coffee here in America. Like, it's just not possible.
I'm pretty sure it's only really produced in like Hawaii.
Gotcha. I mean,
Like to a high percent,
so,
or not like high, like to some degree.
But there's like we can't go to anywhere else to get coffee.
And probably Puerto Rico as well.
We can't ask any of our allies for some coffee. Just Colombia.
Well, we can get it from other places, but for higher prices. You
I mean,
understand how that works.
I mean, that's the price you have to pay to rebuild the country.
Okay, so it's not rebuilding the country to impose tariffs like this. What's the point of it?
To leverage. He imposed the tariffs because they wouldn't take their illegal immigrants back. And what did the Colombian president do? He sent his own presidential plane to come pick them up so that we wouldn't impose those tariffs.
I'm pretty sure they did place retaliatory tariffs, so it's not just because of that.
I mean, they might have. I haven't seen anything about that. And even if they did, I think they still need us a lot more than we would need them.
Wait, so like again, when you say that, you're just like acknowledging that it's gonna hurt people.
I mean, that's the price you got to pay when things get messed up.
What do you mean?
But I don't understand how it's gonna hurt people.
You don't understand that we trade with people? What about the people who are the ones importing those goods?
Like Colombia?
Yeah, if you import goods from Colombia, well, it's going to be more expensive.
Okay, but what if they're also going to lose out on us buying from them? So that would, again, hurt them a lot more than it would hurt us. And we could go pay for higher prices coffee somewhere else until Colombia decides, okay, we need the money back from the U.S. because they're they come to us.
You know that other countries around the world can also put pressure on the United States for imposing these types of tariffs. So
Are they?
do this? Well, other countries are in talks of doing so.
Okay. But again, America is still top 3 country on this planet. I think a lot of other countries need us a lot more than we need them.
So?
I mean, it just goes into just like with NATO. I mean, like NATO wasn't paying their fair share. America was paying most of the money that was going into NATO. But ironically, the other countries involved in NATO need that alliance a lot more than we need that alliance.
Should we pull out of NATO?
I didn't say we should pull out of NATO, but what Trump is doing is making sure that the other countries involved in NATO are paying their fair share.
Which is what percent of GDP?
I believe Trump is asking for 2%, but he actually wants to get it up to 5%.
5%?
Dude, I'm not an expert on all of this. I'm just a common voter. So I mean, a lot of great things are happening. I mean,
5% is crazy.
Okay. I mean, like I said, I'm not an expert on NATO and the percentages, but
Okay, so I have a question. Can you name like 2 Trump economic policies that benefit the middle class more than benefit rich people?
no, just a common voter. But my vote still counts just as much as yours. So I mean, can I ask you a question though?
Go for it.
How do you feel like, and I don't mean this in a jab in any way. I just want to know, like, have you ever like second guessed like your side, but like, do you think it's kind of crazy that like the popular vote was dramatically in Trump's favor?
Do you think it was dramatically in Biden's favor in 2020?
Yeah, but there's also a case to be made that those votes didn't show up this year, which is kind of ironic, but let's not go into that because we're not going to get anywhere. But like, do you second guess?
Yeah, no, I don't know why that's ironic, but like, yeah, like what's confusing?
I think that's a dead end for both of us. I don't think we're going to get anywhere. But do you like second guess like your side at like whatsoever? Like,
Did you
based
second
off
guess
of that?
yourself in 2020?
No. But you're so against this guy. I don't understand it. Like the majority of the country thinks he's doing great things. Expected him to do great things, and he's
That's
delivered.
not a majority of the country. 77 million is not a majority of the country. There's 340 million people in the country.
Okay, a majority of voters.
Nope, it was not over 50% of voters.
Then how did he win the popular vote?
There were other candidates that got like some votes.
Gotcha. I mean, I guess between the
Like Jill
Republican.
Stein and Chase Oliver.
Okay, but like I guess between like the Republican Party and the Democratic Party, like you don't think that there's anything like the Democratic Party could have like done better to like sway voters?
Oh yeah, there's definitely things they could have done better.
And like you don't agree with like since Trump's got into office, what do you not agree with that he's done?
Oh yeah, like he said he might want to economically like sanction Canada to annex it. He might use military to take like Panama or Greenland. He wants to undermine birthright citizenship. I mean, I can go on to a million fucking things. It's actually insane. He literally pardoned dangerous and violent criminals that beat cops on January 6th and admitted to it. Like, dude, I can. What shit did he do that was good?
I mean, I think taking Greenland and the Panama Canal and even if Canada want to become the 51st state.
Unhinged alert coming in. You think it'd be justified to take Greenland?
I don't think he wants to take like by force take it. I think he wants to leverage.
He said he's not ruling it out. He said he's not ruling out using the military to take them.
I believe he said he didn't want to
Isn't
give
that
a
fucking
definitive.
unhinged?
I believe he
sorry,
said he didn't
that's
want
like
to give
that's
a
like pretty
definitive
fucking.
answer and then go back on it, kind of like how Biden said he wouldn't
I'm sorry,
pardon-
Dustin. I think that's pretty
pardon his
fucking
family
unhinged.
and then went back on it.
Do you agree that's pretty fucking unhinged? Do you think
Dude,
Jesus
did you even
would be
like
okay with
recognize
that?
what I just said though? I believe he said he didn't want to give a definitive answer because he might later on go back on that answer, kind of like how
he
Biden
might later
said.
on use the military to. He might later on use the military to take the country. What the fuck is wrong with you, dude? You think that's okay?
I mean, how do you think countries? How do you think we got in America?
Dustin, do you think Jesus would be like, "Yep, invade the fucking country"?
Yeah, that there were wars in the Bible, in the Old Testament.
Oh yeah, I forgot. God commanded like the genocide of the Amalekites, and you're okay with that, right?
I mean, God has a way of working things out, and it's all worked to perfection, and it still
Do
will.
you think slavery is ever okay?
Slavery in the Bible is a lot different than what slavery
Wait,
was.
no, I asked you. Do you think slavery is ever okay?
I mean, if it benefits the slaves in a way, yeah. Do you want to get technical? Yeah.
What does that even mean? What do you mean?
I mean, if they're
What do you
providing.
mean if it quote unquote benefits the slave? What?
Like as a slave, do I agree with the whipping and beating of slaves? No, but if they're
Well,
providing
in the
shelter
Bible in
and food-
Exodus 21 through 21 or 20 through 21, you can beat your slave insofar as they recover after a day or two. So enslaved people were beat, and so long as they recovered after a day or two, right? The person who beat them, who enslaved them, did not get punished under biblical terms. So that's Exodus 21, 20 through 21. That's the moral law from your fucking God. Okay. So one, that's not true. Two, you're still saying slavery is okay. So isn't that a little bit fucking insane?
I mean, in a sense, it's like a. Okay, like I don't agree with like going over to Africa, taking these people and holding them captive. That sort of slavery, but I believe in my biblical knowledge.
Can you? Okay, do you think slavery at all is justified in any circumstance?
It can be, yes.
So slavery can be justified. So you think it's in some circumstances it's justified to own other human beings as property? Wow, dude, that sounds like, you know what? That sounds like a loving religion. You know, that you can own other people as property and it's morally okay. That sounds like such a loving religion, right?
But you're like picking it apart because when Jesus comes, he says, you know, love thy neighbor as yourself.
Yeah, love thy neighbor as yourself, and you can own them as your property. What?
That was the day and age.
So can you tell me why they can't own you as property?
What do you like, who can't own me as property?
Wait, so if you're saying that it would be justified in some circumstances to own other people as property, is it justified for those people to own you as property?
Who is those people?
The people that were enslaved.
Okay, but like,
Appreciate the hand art. The people that you said it's justified to enslave, would it be justified for those people to enslave you?
but I wouldn't use the term slavery.
I answer the question. Would it be justified for them to enslave you?
Yeah, if they're giving me shelter and they're giving me food and they're providing for my human needs, I don't.
Jesus Christ!
In other sense, that's just.
Dude, no way, no way.
How is that different from a job?
No!
How from a job?
Dude. How is it different? Because it's not forced labor against your will. They don't own you as property. Like, when you have a job and you voluntarily choose to work somewhere, you're not owned as property by them.
Yes.
Are you okay? Are you okay? What do you mean? What's the difference?
But slavery and like the
Dustin, no! Get your head out of your ass, dude. What the fuck is this shit? You don't have to uphold these ethics, dude. This is insane.
Slavery in the modern age was a lot different than it was in biblical times.
I don't see why that's one, that's not true. Right? Like, you understand that it's chattel slavery, right? It's slavery for life. In the Bible, like, literally. Like, Israelites could own non-Israelites.
All right, wait. Can you?
As chattel slaves.
I got my Bible right here. Can you re-quote that verse? What was it?
Leviticus 25, 44 through 46.
Okay.
And can you read the verse to the class?
Yeah, let me find this real quick.
Read the verse to the class.
Okay, you said Leviticus 20.
5, 44 through 46. Everyone tap the screen. In the meantime, let's get to 1 million likes. If you want to support me as always, Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, link tree in the bio. Sacred, thank you so much for the $20. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Emma, thank you for the $5. Lilith, thank you for the $5. Devin, thank you for the $5. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Okay, 25, 46.
44 through 46, yep.
Your male and female slaves are to come from the nations around you. From them you may buy slaves. You may also buy some of the temporary residents living among you and members of their clans born in your country, and they will become your property. You can bequeath, which I don't know what that means, them to your children as inherited property and can make them slaves for life, but you must not rule over your fellow Israelites ruthlessly. So
Now, can you go to Exodus 21, 20 through 21 for me real quick?
I want to get the context of this.
No, just go to Exodus. It's moral law in Leviticus. It's Levitical law. So can you just go to, it's directly from God. So can you go particularly to Exodus 21, 20 through 21? Where's the Night Star?
But I know you don't believe in God, but you realize the Levitical law isn't like still in place. Like,
if it was at any point in history applicable, then I think that's an insane view to say that like slavery was ever okay.
Okay, but let's take for example like
so read Exodus 21, 20 through 21 real quick.
21, chapter 21. What were the verse numbers?
20 through 21.
Anyone who beats their male or female slave with a rod must be punished if the slave dies as a direct result, but they are not to be punished if the slave recovers after a day or two, since the slave is their property.
Holy shit.
But God's people were slaves for a time too.
Oh shit.
And
Oh no. Now we have you justifying slavery on live. Jesus Christ, dude. Trump supporters. Into Trump's presidency, and you already have Trump supporters justifying slavery.
But can I tell you like a story from the Bible for a second? When the Israelites got freed from Egypt, they wanted.
I don't think any story from the Bible justifies slavery.
Yes, yeah, actually, after they left Egypt, after God freed them out of Egypt, they were in the wilderness and they were complaining because they wanted to go back to Egypt, back to slavery, because at least there they had meals and shelter. And that's why I said it's not. I wouldn't go as far. I mean,
Dawson, can you answer me this question? If God is all knowing, all powerful, all good, why did God make our bodies in such a way in which we require food in the first place? So that those people had to be in a circumstance where they would have, quote unquote, preferred slavery. You know that God could have made our bodies so that we never starve to death?
He could have, yeah.
Millions of people would have not been dying every single year. Millions of people die every year due to lack of food, right? And they die of starvation, okay? Millions every year. I'm telling every year, millions of people.
I agree,
Your
yeah.
God could have created our biology in such a way in which we do not require food to survive. But yet your God chooses to create our bodies in such a way in which we require food to survive.
Okay, but do you think the people that are starving, do you think that's directly God's fault? Or would you say that
Yes,
Americans
yes,
that eat
yes.
3 meals a day could maybe spare some food?
Wait.
Other
You could
countries-
say it's multifaceted. You could say that responsibility could be applied to multiple individuals. But I would say that God is more morally culpable because God is all-knowing, all-powerful, which means that He has knowledge of it occurring and He has the power to stop it. Me, you, we don't have the power to prevent all of these people from dying, right, of starvation, right? But God, your God, if He's all-knowing and all-powerful, does have the ability to do that. If I had the ability to click a button and prevent people, like millions of people, from starving to death, I would click that button. And if I didn't click that button, I would hope that you think I'm morally culpable for doing so, right? And that's without me even causing that in the first place. Your God caused that in the first place. I would just have the ability to prevent it. And if I didn't prevent it, right, you would still say I'm morally culpable. But because your God doesn't prevent it, you say it's somehow justified because you think He's always right in every single scenario. But like I think you can clearly identify that based upon your own intuitions, this is not morally okay. Okay? This sounds like an evil God. Okay?
But how is God directly causing starvation? He's giving us able human bodies to grow our own food.
Wait, no, you don't need food in order. God could make your body in such a way that in which you do not need food to survive. Let me ask you this question: does anyone starve in heaven?
No.
Okay, so God can create us in a way in which we don't need food to survive, but chooses not to.
Well,
Because God could have created us that way, in which we didn't need food, in the same way He created us in heaven without the need for food.
Well, in the garden, Adam and Eve, I mean, it doesn't go all into the specifics if they needed food or not, but they decided to eat the apple.
Does God
they were
need
in
food?
God's perfect
Listen,
presence, technically
think-
heaven as you would call it, and we
Justin,
decided
let
to leave
me
that.
explain it to you this way: does God need food to survive?
No.
No. So God can create other beings that do not need food to survive, in the same way that He does not need food to survive.
Correct.
So if it's logically possible, God can create it because He's all-knowing, all-powerful, and all-good, which means He has the preference to create it, He has the knowledge to create it, and He has the ability to create it.
But we also have a free will, and we went against God, and that came with a punishment of us being kicked out of His perfect presence, which you would call heaven. So therefore, we pushed that away, and now
If it's perfect, if heaven actually was truly perfect, then how could we ever have been pushed out based upon a flaw that we engaged in?
Because
Wouldn't that
we have
indicate
free
the
will.
space? Wouldn't that indicate the space that we were in wasn't perfect?
no,
If
we
it was
have free
perfect,
will.
there wouldn't be a flaw. You just said that there was a flaw that they had that then led to God deporting them from heaven. Okay? So the only reason we got deported is because we had a flaw. But if I thought it was perfect, I thought it was flawless. There would have been no deportation from heaven if it is the case that what's it called? If it is the case that we were perfect. If God made us perfect. Does that make sense?
But we have a free will. And when the serpent came up to Eve, he deceived her. And
Does God have free will?
Yes.
Okay. Why does God never sin? Because He freely chooses not to. Can God create beings that freely choose not to sin? Yes, because in heaven they freely choose not to sin. So then
But-
the question is hold up. The question is why can't God send us directly to heaven? And the answer is God does send people directly to heaven, right? Babies that are aborted, do they go directly to heaven?
I believe so, yep.
Yes, they do. So God can send human beings directly to heaven, but chooses not to. So what you're arguing is that going to earth is better than going to heaven, right? All things considered, which essentially means that when people like go to heaven, you think that's a bad thing because it's less preferable.
You lost me there, I'm gonna be honest. But we have a free will, so God doesn't want robots. God doesn't want robots that love Him because they have to love Him. He wants human beings that make a free will choice to love Him.
Yeah, and again, those aborted babies that go directly to heaven, why are they able to exist in that way, but I wasn't able to be made in such a way in which I went directly to heaven, or you went directly to heaven, or anyone that has existed in this life went directly to heaven? Because if you agree that heaven is better than earth, well, then God should have created us within heaven. And if we were in heaven, and heaven
He
is
did.
perfect.
He did. Adam and Eve. He did.
Listen. Is heaven perfect?
Yes, you're in the presence
Okay,
of God.
then there could never be sin in heaven. Never. So it's not possible
Well,
for
God-
there to be original sin if it is the case that heaven is perfect. Because if it was perfect, then there would never be sin.
Okay, so it sounds like
Sin
you
is
know
a
the
flaw.
Bible. Okay, it sounds like you know the Bible a lot better than me. So let me ask you something. Satan, Lucifer, was in heaven, right? Created by God. How did he then fall? How did he get his punishment of being banished? How did he become the devil?
I think that's incoherent too. I don't think it makes sense for if God. Do you think Satan is perfect?
No.
Okay, how can a perfect being create an imperfect being? How is that possible?
I mean, he gives them free will to make poor decisions.
Yeah, but God has free will. So if God is a perfect being and only can create perfect beings, then why is it the case that Satan is an imperfect being? Does that indicate that God didn't create that being?
It indicates that Satan, upon his free will, thought higher of himself.
Okay, but
And
again,
pride
what you're
was
telling
found
me
in
is
him.
that Satan is not perfect. So how did a perfect being create a being that is imperfect? Are you saying that they had an imperfect desire?
I'm saying he
desire
gave
to
them
create
a
an
free
imperfect
will.
being.
He gave them a free will.
Do perfect beings desire to create imperfect beings?
I mean, I only know one perfect being, which is God, and he made humans with a free will.
Here, I'll ask you this question. Can a perfect being desire to create an imperfect being?
I mean, I don't see why they couldn't.
Really? Well, maybe because it's flawed. Right? A perfect being is flawless, meaning that they can't engage in flawed actions. Right? If you desire a imperfect being over a perfect being, that would be an example of an imperfect or flawed desire because you're desiring a flawed being over a flawless being. Okay, so I'm just going to kick you off the live because what I've just explained is very obvious and I don't want to go too much into religion because I don't want to kill the live, but let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you did vote Trump. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Hello?
Hello.
Did you vote Trump?
Yes.
Okay, why so? And Megan, thank you so much for the $1. Thank you so much for the head stimming fund. And Whitney, thank you so much for the $30. Thank you so much, Whitney. Can we get some W's for Whitney in the comment section right now? Thank you so much, Whitney. I really appreciate that.
Yes.
Why so?
Because I support many of his policies and his beliefs, and I just think he's better fit to be the president than Kamala Harris or anyone in the
Okay, so
Biden administration.
You think he's better fit? Okay, based on what qualities?
Well, the border policies and sorry, blanked out there for a second. Also, I've looked at many statistics and many graphs showing how
Wow. Wow. Mm-hmm. Mark, thank you so much for that very insightful information. I have never thought about it that way, Mark. I don't think I've ever learned so much. Okay, let's go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you did vote Trump. We are just looking for some debates, everyone. Yeah, appreciate the marvelous confetti. Thank you. Kelly, thank you so much. I appreciate the $2. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Hello, I love you, Parker.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Only send a guest request if you did vote Trump. We are just looking for some debates, everyone. Let's get this next person up here. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Okay, let's get this next person up here. Only send a guest request if you did vote Trump. We are just looking for some debates, everyone. Does anyone know if Harry's hopping on for some debates tonight? Yo, what's up? How old are you? And Marine, thank you so much for the $2. Thank you so much for statistics and graphs. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Nice.
Hello.
Oh, well. All right, let's go on to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you did vote Trump. I was hearing stuff in the Discord that we need to ban the Peloton because Harry's doing Peloton too much. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
19.
Did you vote Trump?
Yeah.
Why so?
Because we're gonna drill, baby, drill, and make America great again.
Only send a guest request if you did vote Trump. We are just looking for some debates, y'all. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Hello? Hello? All right. Let's get this next person up here. Only send a guest request if you did vote Trump. We are just looking for some debates, y'all. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Nigger.
Yo, what the fuck is wrong with you? Rethink your life, bro. Chat, can someone explain to me why Harry can't go live from the Peloton? Can someone explain that one to me? Why is it not possible that he can do live while he's also doing Peloton? Can anyone explain that one to me? People are saying ban Peloton, but it sounds like he doesn't have to ban it. He just needs to do Peloton lives. You know what I'm saying? Yo, what's up? How old are you? Alright, let's go on to this next individual. Only send a guest request if he did vote Trump. Sounds like the chat would be very happy if Harry did a Peloton live. Okay. It's probably really loud. It's probably really loud. That's what it is. Eek, thank you so much for the $2. Or the chat should fund Harry to get his own Peloton, so he can put it in his room. Or does he already use his own? Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 18.
Did you vote Trump?
Yeah.
Why so?
Because of his policies.
Okay. What policy?
Like economic policy, border policy.
Like what economic policy?
Like so I guess just foreign policy.
Come on, bro. That's really embarrassing. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie.
I didn't.
William, are you embarrassed at all? Just like genuine question.
No, I'm not.
That is fucking crazy, dude. Hey, good for you, man. Good for you. But that's wild, dude. You came on the live. You were super like, yo, dude, I voted for Trump because his economic policy. I ask you, what economic policy? You're like, okay, not the economic policy, the foreign policy.
Well, yeah, foreign policy.
So not the economic policy?
No.
Do you agree Kamala Harris's economic policy is better than Trump's?
Well, no, because she wasn't president.
Why not?
But really, kind of both candidates suck with economic.
Okay. What do you mean?
Like, you know, Trump's doing like tariffs, and then Biden, you really couldn't afford anything.
Can you explain to me how the Biden-Harris administration caused inflation?
So, when I was younger, I was like 16 and 17, last 2 years, like, because that's how age works. But I kind of noticed how houses were a lot more expensive in Utah.
No, I didn't know age worked that way, but yeah, sure. Houses were more expensive.
So a house in Utah before Biden cost a lot cheaper.
Utah, okay, interesting.
And now houses cost 700, 800 grand.
Okay, so how did the Biden-Harris administration cause that?
I'm not too sure, but
Because he was president? Oh, well, Trump's president.
Yeah.
And the prices are really high right now.
He's been in for like...
What the fuck, Trump? What the fuck? Seriously.
He's been in for 6 days.
Yeah. Yeah, seriously, dude. What the fuck?
You can't...
Wait, are you saying that like you need to say like how they caused that? I thought we were blaming them just because the president.
No.
Seriously, what the fuck, Trump?
But he didn't cause it though.
Wait, how do you know that? Because he's president.
Well, how would he have caused it if it happened during?
Can you explain to me how the Biden-Harris administration caused it, you fucking Nimrod?
Did you call me a fucking Nimrod?
Yes, dude. I'm sorry. You can't realize that you literally said that about one side but not the other?
Okay, little bro, you can't call me a fucking Nimrod when, first of all, I've been very respectful. Second of all, I didn't know fucking liberals were pieces of shits like you. Alright, the only actual liberal that I've ever met that's nice is fucking Dean.
I'm done.
Bro, like, anything Trump does, you guys instantly blame him.
I'm so done. I'm so
Yeah, me
done.
too, bro. Anything-
You did not say that. The only nice person is Dean.
He's nicer than you, nigga. Alright.
You think Dean is nicer than me?
Yeah, kill yourself, buddy.
That is crazy that you just said that, dude. Get off my live. That's crazy that you just said that, by the way. One, that's crazy that you said that. One, that's not very nice that you said that. Two, Dean is not nicer than me. That's crazy. That's like actually crazy. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Yo, 20.
Did you vote Trump?
Yep.
What's your birth year? Oh, God. MAGA math, huh? All right, let's get this next person up here. Amelin, thank you so much for the $1. Thank you so much. And Eek, thank you so much for the $2. I might post a video, and if it gets enough likes, we will get Harry to ban Peloton. We'll either do a ban or Peloton live. Okay, that's what
what's up?
that's what will pass. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 19.
Did you vote Trump?
Yep.
Why so?
Okay, so it was like pretty much strictly because of border policy. So Kamala didn't
What's
really
your birth year?
define 2005,
And you said you're how old?
19,
Okay, what month?
December.
Okay.
Yeah, so anyways, I live in Atlanta or around there. And Kamala just didn't define border policy well enough for me to feel like comfortable because especially after the murder that happened at UGA, it really caused me like to have like worries about border policy. So I
Can you
like
tell me what border policy you like of Trump's?
yeah, so it's not really even border policy. I just like the fact that he's deporting like active criminals that were like caught and released. Like ICE.
I have a question. Would you like not vote for a candidate if they released violent criminals into the country?
Okay, I know you're going with that, and that's a good point. But I'm just talking about like specifically like those criminals because like I feel like that's a pretty easy.
Yeah, okay, but like if they're like a criminal that's born in the country that inherited $400 million accounting for inflation from their dad, then they should be president of the United States, right?
No, I mean that's another topic, and I know like that's true and all, but I just didn't feel comfortable like because I mean, do you support illegal immigration?
I would say they should just be legal immigrants.
Okay, so like what about like
if you haven't committed a violent crime or a bad crime, then you shouldn't be deported.
yeah.
You should have a pathway to citizenship.
I agree. Like my grandpa, he immigrated from Ecuador, and he did it natural, like the right way, whatever. And he doesn't commit violent crimes, so I mean, I definitely agree with that because without that,
the
it wouldn't
fact
be
of the
here.
matter is that asylum seeking is the right way. It is the legal way. Yet,
Yeah.
plenty of Republicans say that it's illegal when it's not.
Why are people telling me to go back, bro? That's so mean.
That is very fucked up.
Anyways, but I just like it's the violent crime which is a problem, and I just I mean I don't think Kamala would have like allowed that to happen because she was obviously the what is it DA or whatever and she was a prosecutor, so she's not going to stand for violent crimes, but she just didn't anyways
she didn't what?
She just didn't like define a way to like she didn't say anything specifically about what she would do. And I know like all the stuff about like her being border czar, like I'm not gonna get onto her for not doing something specifically then. because she was in a tough spot, like with her campaign and all. But I just think that if she had defined it a little more clearly and like given a process, maybe, like, I mean, Trump was just like, yeah, I'm gonna deport everyone, whatever. Like, that was better than literally saying nothing about it.
Can you give me the border policy like of Trump's?
Yeah, I'm just talking about like what ICE did like recently, like the 800 some illegals that were caught and released.
What policy do you like?
Just that right now. Like
just what policy?
Well, I mean, I can't like I'm not like that into it. I just know that he's literally doing something right
no
now.
Policy in particular?
I mean, I'm just like not that familiar. I'm not like a super like researching guy. Like, I'm not knowledgeable. I just know, like, I mean, there are reports now that ICE is literally like getting illegals that committed violent acts out.
Say people are quote unquote illegals. Secondly, what you're not answering is
okay, the convicted,
like, one,
like
the change in the policy.
Yeah.
Right? Because two, this already occurred.
What do you mean?
It already happened that we deported people who are in the country who committed violent crimes.
I know, but like not enough. Like the girl at UGA died. Like, that was an illegal immigrant that was caught and released, and she died. Like that. What? So it's not good enough.
Wait, who?
I can't remember her name.
I don't know.
Yeah, I was at this intramural field very recently, like right where she was, and it like felt safe. So I just don't know how that happened.
It felt safe.
Yeah, like, I mean, relatively safe. Like there was no like violent activity going around.
Okay, all right. Is there anything else you want to talk about or add before going to the next person?
Not really. I mean, yeah. Just thanks for talking.
All right, let's go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you did vote Trump. We are just looking for some debates.
Oh, damn.
What's up? How old are you?
Me? Fuck.
I can't hear you. Come back into the app.
Yeah.
How old are you?
33.
Did you vote Trump?
I did. So I watch your lives a lot, bro, and I like the open discussion you got going. I think my biggest thing for Trump, I think domestically and amongst like the people of the country, he's very dividing. But I think foreign policy wise, when it comes to other countries, I feel like when he speaks, other countries tend to listen more than like when, Joe Biden would speak towards our foreign adversaries. I feel like they take a little more, I don't know what the word is, but a little more vindication maybe out of Trump's words than maybe like what Biden would say to maybe like our adversaries.
Okay, so can you tell me, like, so you think that Donald Trump is viewed as better on the world stage? Did you know that, like, one of his national security advisors, his third national security advisor, indicated that he's a laughing fool to foreign leaders around the world?
I mean, I didn't know that, but I feel like, that's, you can take that as an opinion, but I feel like still at the end of the day,
it's someone he appointed into the position.
When he speaks, like other people listen, whether you like it or not. I mean, people still listen when he speaks.
Yeah. They listen and then they laugh.
I mean, I don't know. You look at, like with Moore's foreign policies. I mean, like what, day 1 or 2 in. I know Biden did a lot of work on the hostages with Hamas, and then he came in and he had a bunch of them.
Yeah. He urged Netanyahu to not accept the ceasefire until after the election. So the ceasefire happened later than it would have because Trump wanted to look good.
Right, which
didn't want Democrats to get the win.
Which he does well though, right? Like whether it's right or wrong. I mean,
which he does well. You know what I mean? Like he's really good at manipulating us. You're like he's really good at manipulating us and like the people that voted with me for Donald Trump. Like he's really good at manipulating us. So like we should give him credit for like being really good at lying and manipulating voters.
But he's also good at manipulating other countries, right? To kind of like have them do what.
Not Vladimir Putin apparently.
Well, I haven't seen the most recent involvement of Putin, but I know that him and them are like, kind of buddies.
And that's why he believes Vladimir Putin over U.S. intelligence, even though we had U.S. intelligence and vast evidence indicating that Vladimir Putin was wrong.
Wrong about what?
Specifically Russian interference.
With the election?
Yeah, in 2016. There's Russian interference proven. There just wasn't Russian.
So don't get me wrong. I think, the 2016 election, I think the whole thing was totally.
There wasn't proven collusion with Trump, but there was proven interference.
I get that. I'm really not disagreeing with that. Like the 2016 insurrections, January 6th, I think all of that, I'm definitely more on the moderate side of that in terms of, what's wrong is wrong. And I think that, January 6th, what was wrong as a whole. I agree with you on that. I think outside of 2016,
do you think it was bad that he released violent criminals in the country by pardoning people who violently assaulted police officers, admitted to it, and pled guilty?
Oh yeah, 100%. I think the issue is that I think he does a lot of things kind of off the hip, which I don't think is great. But at the same time, I do think once some of the big stuff does kind of get back under control, I think that again, foreign policy wise. Well, I mean, it's only been not even a week in office.
Yeah, and it's already this unhinged.
I mean, it's to say this unhinged. I think it's been unhinged for a while. The nation as a whole.
How so? Like, what did the Biden-Harris administration do that was unhinged?
Well, I just think unhinged in the sense of the division between you have a Democrat, you have a Republican, and there's no room for people in the middle.
Can you tell me what the Democrats did that was unhinged?
Well, I just think you have the Democrats, you have the Antifa on the left, you have the Proud Boys on the right.
Are you Antifa?
No, fuck no.
No?
No.
So are you? So you're pro-fascism?
No, what I am is I'm.
What is Antifa? Just means anti-fascist.
Okay, well I'm talking about in the context of.
So you are Antifa?
Oh my god, bro, you're just twisting my words now. I'm talking. I feel like most people when I say that know what I'm talking about, right? Like if you want to take my specific words.
Wait, but you just said you were anti.
And use that
so are you anti-fascist?
I understand what you're saying, man. But what I'm saying is, 99% of the time, if I say the word Antifa, people think far left, right? And if I say Proud Boys, people think far right. So
you can say what people think, but we have to be clear with what you mean.
What I'm saying is, whether you want to debate semantics or not, that's a whole different ball game in its own. But I think if you're talking to the general population, if someone says Antifa or someone says Proud Boys,
it just means anti-fascist.
They understand.
Proud Boys.
They understand.
Proud Boys
are
completely and totally different. Antifa is not an
organization.
My God,
dude.
Antifa is not an organization.
Taking words right now.
I'm sorry. I'm being intellectual. My bad.
It's I'm sorry. But here's the difference.
I'm
right?
sorry. I'm not like an idiot on the stream that's just going to accept anything you say on my stream in front of 6,500 people.
That's fine, but I'm not saying individual words. I'm saying in the main, in the media, in the mainstream, whatever you want to call it. If you hear the word Antifa, you think far left. If you hear the phrase Proud Boys, you think far right.
I'm just pointing to the fact that it's not an organization.
You can point that all you want, but I'm talking about what the mass majority.
Did you hear what I just said?
And what they think.
What did I just say?
It's completely different. We're debating semantics right now, not what the mass population thinks when they hear those phrases.
Can you name me a policy Trump passed that you like?
I'm not. There's. I don't know, right? I don't know just yet, but I'm still kind of caught up on the Antifa versus the Proud Boys thing, and the semantics of everything. I mean, you can roll your eyes all you want, and you
just said that I was the one worried too much about semantics, and now you're just saying you're worried about semantics when I was trying to ask you about a policy.
You got me worked up on you did what you're good at, and it's cool. I can.
What do you mean? I asked you what fucking policy you support? That's not being good at what I do at. That's I'm sorry, anyone can do that. That's not a difficult question.
I feel like you and D, you get them with the gotcha moments type things.
Sure, but what I just brought up isn't even a gotcha moment. It's literally just asking what policy do you support so I can have a conversation with you. It's only a gotcha because you have no fucking idea what you're talking about. Respectfully.
Oh, respectfully, yeah. As long as No.
As long as I say respectfully after, don't worry.
Yeah, right. That's all that matters. I just think overall, like broad generalization, I think Trump's foreign policy, like, let the military do military things. I think that's a big one, Hegseth, he has his disparities, but I think at the end of the day, it is the U.S. military and they are a war machine, regardless of what they're fighting for. You have to let the military be the military. It is a war fighting machine. And, I think, if we go to war with another country, that country, whether it's China or Russia, whoever, they'll let them military, go above and beyond and, kind of let them off the leash. And, we might not have that same freedom, which I understand, but at the same time, I think you have to let the military be the military.
Okay. All right, let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you did vote Trump. We are just looking for some debates. If you're an insane MAGA lunatic, send a guest request. Yo, what's up, how old are you? All right, let's get this next person up here. Only send a guest request if you did vote Trump. We are just looking for some debates. Parker never says anything nice back. Good. Yo, what's up, how old are you?
Hi, I actually just want to correct some misinformation. Not from you.
I'm sorry. Pete, thank you so much for the $3. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Thank you. For asking the tough questions for what is one policy you support. I know, right? Such tough questions, right? Yo, what's up, how old are you? Yo, what's up, how old are you?
Yo, can you hear me?
Did you vote Trump?
Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 18.
Yeah, what's your birth year?
2006.
And can you turn off the background noise?
Oh yeah, my bad. I was watching American Dad. Sorry.
Sure, so why'd you vote Trump?
So I'm a little uneducated. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's the whole reason I wanted to come on here. I wanted to pick your brain about a few things, maybe persuade me in another direction.
Okay.
So I was thinking on more of like an economic side, and from what I've at least heard, read, or anything like that, the jobs was on a positive note, like on a positive trend upwards during his first term.
Okay. It was also positive under Biden.
Exactly. So that's why I just wanted to maybe be persuaded. And like another,
so there were points where it was positive, there were points where it was negative. If you just want to look what happened under the administration, Trump net lost jobs, right?
I was not aware. Thank you for telling me that.
Yeah, but like the point that I would make is that what's relevant is what they did to cause there to be more or less jobs. And Joe Biden actually passed policy that would have meaningfully caused jobs into existence, whereas Donald Trump did not pass policy that meaningfully brought jobs into existence. Examples of policies that Joe Biden passed that caused there to be an increase in jobs are things such as the infrastructure policy, the bipartisan infrastructure bill, the CHIPS and Science Act, right? The PACT Act and the Inflation Reduction Act. Those are all policies that created jobs in the United States. And Donald Trump raised the debt more than Joe Biden by signing into law more debt-related spending. And it was just mainly like tax cuts for billionaires and millionaires and people who are doing really well, right? Not help for people in need.
Interesting. Could you also touch on the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act? I see a lot of people talking about that. I would just like to know a little bit more about it. I've heard that it was positive for the people, but I've also heard negative about it. So I just want to know what you think about that.
Yes, only added $8 billion to the annual GDP for $190 billion of debt-related spending each year, which is a little bit more than $1 billion in federal revenues each year increase. So it's like very minimal.
Cool. So I just had I just got like 2 more questions and I'll get out of your hair. So I'm a big fan of socialist ideas, right? But another thing I find troubling.
Okay, they're leftist. They're just asking me questions. Only send a guest request if you did vote Trump. We are just looking for some debates. Only send a guest request if you did vote Trump. We are just looking for some debates, everyone. Let's get this next person up here. Please, everyone, only send a guest request if you did vote Trump. Very nice, though. He was very nice, though. You have Paladin?
22.
Did you vote Trump?
Yeah. I've been alive for a little bit. Parker, I just want to ask you something. Do you think Americans are stupid?
I wouldn't say like as a generalization, but like, yeah, there's a lot of Americans that are stupid.
Because, Trump won the popular vote, right?
Okay.
And
Are
he
there a
won-
lot of Trump voters that are stupid? Yes.
And he won all swing states.
Justin, did you vote Trump?
Of course I did.
Okay. I have a question. Can you name one Trump policy you like?
Nope.
How many branches of government are there?
There's 3, but
And what are they?
you need to understand that
What are they?
what does that have to do with anything?
What are the 3 branches of government?
Legislative, executive, and judicial.
Oh, nice. Okay. So, if you don't know any policies, how do you evaluate that Trump is a good candidate for president?
Well, because he won the popular vote in all swing states. So if you think
Wait, so then are you telling me that Joe Biden was a better candidate in 2020 because he won? Charles, thank you for the $1. Thank you
Yeah,
so much.
he
Or are you saying that
barely-
Hillary Clinton was a better candidate in 2016 because she won the popular vote?
he barely won, so you're saying that Americans are dumb when Trump crushed Kamala in the
I
polls?
never said it as a generalization Americans are dumb, but there are a lot of Americans that are dumb. I mean, you exist.
Oh, so I'm dumb because I don't know too much politics?
No, it's just the level of confidence you speak with for the level of knowledge that you have. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at the results of the election.
Who won in 2020?
Biden won.
Okay, so then why are you supporting a candidate that tried to convince tens of millions of people that he won the election when there was no sufficient evidence indicating that Trump won?
Well, Biden won. I mean, I'm not debating that he didn't, but you look at the polls in 2024 and you see that literally all 6 swing states were red, and then you're still debating on here thinking that Americans are dumb for voting for Trump.
Yeah, because we need to like engage in edutainment, you know? We need to educate and entertain to be able to educate more people on like things that are relevant. I mean, it's not like a bad thing just to acknowledge that a lot of people are misinformed. And I'm not calling everyone stupid. What I'm saying though is that like a lot of people are willfully ignorant, okay? And a lot of people are stupid, right? And I am okay with calling people stupid because I think that it pushes people to be like, yo, the way I'm looking at this probably isn't the right way. Push the team victory. It's kind of the same way that when you call a flat earther stupid, push the team victory, they realize that maybe my position isn't so smart, or maybe my position isn't so good, you know? It's like when the same way that I call a flat earther stupid, it's like the same way I'm calling certain Trump supporters stupid.
So you're saying most people are misinformed, but most of the media goes Democrat when, I mean, there's only like Fox News and some other sources that are Republican.
Fox News is the biggest media source. Also, like, have you seen like social media? Look at basically every social media source. It's like predominantly right-winging. I'm talking like the biggest creators within the space are predominantly right-wing individuals. I'm talking Ben Shapiro, Charlie Kirk, Candace Owens, right? Like Matt Walsh. Like those are all fucking huge right-wing individuals. Okay, Steven Crowder,
why do you
huge right-wing
think they're
individuals.
So popular.
What's up?
Why do you think they're so popular?
Why? Because there's a lot of people on social media that are right-wing.
Right. People want to seek the truth. And, you know,
What's your point?
my point is, you know, the fact that Biden, Kamala, they didn't do like interviews, not speaking.
Wait, Kamala, and also 1 second, real quick. Can I just do one thing real quick? Just this is like sort of an intermediary thing. Hey, Liam, can you speak? Liam, can you speak real quick, or stay muted, or leave? Can you do one of those?
Why are you scared of me?
Ah, good boy, Liam.